Nepal, a kingdom carved between heaven and earth. Where the world's highest peaks guard quiet valleys draped in cloud and prayer. Here, the wind carries the sound of ancient bells, and rivers carve their way through terraced fields that have sustained life for centuries. Among the ridges and stone paths lie villages untouched by time. Places where faith, nature, and human endurance intertwine. Every sunrise paints the Himalayas in gold, and every face reflects a story of resilience and grace. This is Nepal, a land of mountains and memory where beauty breathes in silence. High in the folds of the Annapurna Range, where clouds drift through pine forests and snow peaks gleam like silver crowns, lies Ghandruk, a village built from stone and spirit. Terraces ripple down the slopes like ancient stairways to the sky. And narrow lanes wind between slate roofs that have watched centuries pass in quiet endurance. Once a trading post on the trails to Tibet, Ghandruk stood as a bridge between mountains and men, between solitude and survival. In its walls are echoes of the Gurung people, warriors, herders, and farmers whose roots run deep into this rugged land. The rhythm of their lives has always followed the rhythm of the earth, the harvest, the monsoon, the melting snows that feed the rivers below. When the sun rises, the entire valley glows with the golden fire of Annapurna, and the wind carries stories older than memory. But Ghandruk has endured more than beauty. Landslides, storms, and the slow erosion of time have tested its foundations. Yet each time, its people rebuilt, stone upon stone, faith upon faith. Today, it stands as a testament to the harmony between human will and Himalayan majesty. This is Ghandruk, a village carved into the mountain's heart, where every path leads toward the sky. And every dawn feels like the world's first light. Perched on a ridgeline between the mountains and the sky, Bandipur rests like a memory of old Nepal. A hilltop town where time lingers in the scent of wood and stone. Its streets, lined with carved Nuwari windows and weathered brick facades, recall an age when merchants from the Kathmandu Valley brought silk, spices, and stories along these winding trails. From the first light of dawn to the hush of misty evenings, the town breathes with a stillness that feels eternal. Once a prosperous stop on the trade route linking India to Tibet, Bandipur flourished with the wealth and artistry of its Nuwari builders. Every balcony, courtyard, and temple bears their devotion to craft, a devotion not merely to beauty, but to endurance. Yet when the trade roads shifted and commerce moved elsewhere, Bandipur stood silent, its glory fading into the clouds. But silence did not mean surrender. The people remained, tending to their homes, their heritage, their place among the hills. In that quiet perseverance, Bandipur became more than a town. It became a guardian of Nepal's architectural soul. Now, when the morning fog lifts, the valley below glows beneath a veil of light. And the old town awakens with a grace untouched by haste. This is Bandipur, a living museum above the clouds, where every stone whispers of history and every dawn renews the spirit of the past. At the threshold of the Mustang Valley, where the lush hills of Nepal give way to the dry silence of the trans-Himalayan desert, stands Kagbeni, a village of stone and wind, poised between worlds. The Kali Gandaki River winds like a silver thread beside it, cutting through canyons older than memory. Beyond its narrow alleys rise mud brick houses crowned with prayer flags that flutter against the vastness of the sky. Once, Kagbeni marked the gateway to the forbidden kingdom of Mustang. A checkpoint between the rich valleys of the south and the salt trails leading to Tibet. Traders, monks, and pilgrims passed through its gates, their journeys etched into the dust of its streets. Here, every wall bears the marks of time, and every shadow speaks of ancient footsteps that never stopped moving. The winds of Mustang are fierce, shaping both land and life. Through droughts, isolation, and the shifting sands of centuries, Kagbeni's people held firm, guided by faith and the river's eternal song. Its fortress-like structures still stand as guardians of an age when survival depended on unity and belief gave strength against the elements. The village remains a timeless sentinel of the Himalayas, where the desert meets the mountains, and history whispers through the wind. This is Kagbeni, a place where endurance has become art, and silence holds the memory of empires long gone. Hidden beneath the folds of the Mahabharat hills, Chitlang rests in a cradle of green. A valley of silence and symmetry where forests guard the edges of terraced fields. The air here moves gently, carrying the scent of pine and earth. And the light falls softly across stone paths that have guided travelers for centuries. Long before the roads to Kathmandu were carved, Chitlang was a vital passage linking the capital to the plains beyond. Its story is woven into the early trade of the valley. A story of endurance shaped by hills and human hands. Once, royal processions passed through these slopes, and mule caravans carried grain and ghee across the ridges. The traces of those journeys still linger in the old resting houses and ancient chatias that dot the valley's heart. Over time, kingdoms rose and faded, but Chitlang endured, sustained by its soil, its forests, and the quiet rhythm of mountain life. The valley has known peace and hardship alike, yet it continues to breathe with an ageless calm. When dawn spreads over its terraces, the hills shimmer with dew, and mist drifts through the orchards like a memory of forgotten dreams. This is Chitlang, a sanctuary between forests and sky. Where history sleeps beneath the trees, and the earth itself seems to rest in harmony. Nestled in the shadow of the Nilgiri peaks, Marpha glows like a white jewel along the banks of the Kali Gandaki River. A village of stone, sunlight, and silence. Its narrow lanes, paved with pale slabs, wind between houses, washed in white. Their wooden windows dark with age and care. Here, the air is crisp with the scent of pine and apples. For Marpha's orchards have long been its pride, a gift drawn from the dry winds and cold rivers of the high Himalayas. Once part of the ancient salt route to Tibet, Marpha thrived as a resting place for traders and pilgrims who crossed these rugged valleys. Its people learned to draw life from scarcity, cultivating fruit and faith in a land of rock and dust. The chortens that rise above the rooftops still guard this heritage, their prayer flags dancing against the mountain sky. Harsh winters and shifting lands have tested Marpha's endurance. Yet the village remains unbroken. Each stone wall tells of resilience, each courtyard of community bound by time and tradition. When the sun dips behind Nilgiri, the village glows in golden silence. A portrait of harmony between human craft and Himalayan vastness. This is Marpha, the apple heart of Mustang, where purity lives in stone and wind. And the mountains watch over a legacy carved by patience and pride. High above the deep valleys of the Khumbu, where the air thins and the clouds drift close to the mountains, lies Syangboche, a village suspended between earth and sky. From its slopes, the world's highest peaks rise in silent grandeur, with Everest shimmering beyond the ridgelines like a vision born of snow and light. The land here is austere yet sacred, its paths etched by centuries of footsteps carrying faith, trade, and survival across impossible heights. Syangboche stands near Namche, the heart of the Sherpa homeland, a region where endurance has always been a way of life. For generations, its people have thrived amid the thin air and fierce winds, their stone houses anchored in landscapes shaped by glaciers and devotion. This was once a resting point for caravans bound for Tibet, where prayer flags met the mountain wind and the sound of yak bells echoed like hymns of perseverance. But beauty at this altitude is never gentle. Snowstorms sweep through without warning, and the cold cuts deep into the bones of the earth. Yet through it all, Syangboche endures, not in defiance, but in harmony with the power that surrounds it. This is Syangboche, a gateway to the gods, where the horizon touches the roof of the world. And each dawn reveals the timeless conversation between mountain and sky. Beneath the watchful gaze of Machaputra, the sacred fishtail peak that rises like a blade of light, lies Lwang, a village woven into the emerald folds of the Annapurna foothills. Here, terraced tea gardens ripple across the slopes, their leaves glistening beneath the morning mist. The air carries the mingled fragrance of soil and dew, and the quiet hum of mountain life drifts through the valley like a forgotten song. Lwang's story begins with the Gurung people, who settled these hills long ago, shaping the land with patience and respect. Through generations, they built their homes from stone and timber, their lives from the rhythm of the seasons. The tea gardens came later, transforming the hills into a sea of green and giving new meaning to the harmony between people and nature. Each leaf plucked beneath the soft sun tells of this union, of labor, tradition, and serenity. Yet the beauty of Lwang is not only in its landscape, but in its stillness. Time moves slowly here. As clouds drift across the mountains and rivers carve their endless paths below. When dusk falls, the sky glows over Machu Picchu's summit, and the village settles into quiet peace. This is Lwang, a sanctuary of green and light, where the mountains stand near enough to touch, and every breeze carries the calm of a world unbroken. High in the rain shadow of the Annapurna Range, where the land turns to stone and silence, lies Manang. A village carved from the bones of the Himalayas. The air here is dry and clear. Carrying the whisper of the winds that sweep down from frozen summits. Around it rise cliffs of ochre and ash, their ridges crowned by the eternal snow of Gangapurna and Annapurna. In this stark, haunting landscape, life has taken root against all odds. For centuries, Manang stood as a crossroads of worlds, a place where traders from Tibet and Nepal met along the ancient salt routes. Its people learn to survive where the soil is thin and the weather unforgiving, tending yaks and barley beneath skies of blinding light. Stone houses cling to the slopes like fossils of endurance, their flat roofs built to hold the weight of time itself. The path to Manang has never been easy. Landslides, avalanches, and isolation have tested those who call it home. Yet in this hardship lies beauty, the purity of a world untouched by excess. The strength of those who live in harmony with the Earth's extremes. When evening falls, the peaks ignite with the last fire of the sun, and the valley glows in silent majesty. This is Manang, a kingdom of wind and stone, where every shadow speaks of survival. And every dawn reminds the world how close heaven can be. Perched along the rolling hills of western Nepal, Tansen rises like a tapestry of color and history, where winding streets trace the paths of centuries past. Its brick facades and tiled rooftops echo with the footsteps of traders, soldiers, and pilgrims who once moved between the mountains and the Terai plains. From its vantage points, the valley below stretches in green waves, while the distant peaks of the Himalayas crown the horizon with quiet majesty. Tansen's story is written in its architecture, every carved window and stone staircase a testament to the artistry of the Nuar and Magar communities who shaped this hill town. Palpa Rani Mahal stands as a guardian of the past, its white walls and regal towers watching over generations, silent yet eloquent. Through monsoons, earthquakes, and the slow march of time, Tansen has preserved its essence, balancing life on the hills with a steadfast respect for tradition. The town's colorful streets capture the rhythm of centuries, where festivals once echoed with music and the hum of trade. Even as the modern world encroaches beyond the hills, Tansen remains a living archive. A place where history flows as naturally as the winds through its narrow lanes. This is Tansen, a hill town of memory and grace, where every corner reveals the layers of human endeavor, and every sunrise casts the past in golden light.